Oi!
Whoa!
May have driven into a wall there, Peanut.
Oh, yeah, I know. I was watching.
Beasley's got a lot of ballast. He's got more ballast than me.
Yeah.
Shut it.
That has to be a quality fuel run.
Must be a quality fuel run.
I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. Other than you're a cunt.
No, you're a cunt.
I think the server just went.
No.
I can't connect. Fuck's sake.
Oh, that's who's just left the lobby.
Uh-oh. Penny's in trouble.
Stupid fucking PlayStation. Stupid fucking video games.
Stupid
So
fucking this, stupid fucking that. Even
fuck,
though it could be just
no,
be the
actually, no,
fucking,
sorry.
it might just be your internet, motherfucking.
I'm fucking bored of gaming anyway, so.
Fucking bored of gaming. Oh, man, I'm so fucking hard.
I'm really happy for you.
I'm glad, because I worked hard for that.
You did.
I was fucking sweating it. Like a
Dropped the
motherfucker.
rear wing too.
Woo! Right. Catch your ball bags later.
Sorry, dude.
It should be quick and over and done with pretty soon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and I'll be bringing you the action here on this beautiful Tuesday evening. And we are back with the GT4s once again here at SimPlay Motorsport. The small little cars that pack a lot of punch here. We're live at the Hungaroring for the next race of the season, and obviously, like we said earlier last week, it is all about following the program for the GT4. So they're going to be the start of the week, as the GT3s will be rolling in tomorrow and Thursday night. But 2 sprint races tonight, and we've got some interesting racing going on here this evening. A few drivers missing this evening, but also some new faces showing up tonight. And we'll see how these guys challenge the difficult circuit of the Hungaroring in Hungary as we move on to the second round of the championship for the GT4s. Good evening, everybody in the chat. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you do want to be a part of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport, then head over to our Discord page, which should be in the description below. But let's get things underway here, and first things first, let's talk about the championship standings. As hopefully, if I'm slick enough, it should be able to be on your screen right about now, hopefully. So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that is your championship. Top 10 championship standings at the minute is Sky Schundermeyer leading the way ahead of Max Mulder in second place, with Richard Beasley in third. Matthew Duffin sitting in fourth place, with Senna sat in fifth, with Tim Ventink in sixth, with Barrett sat in seventh, Clouden in eighth, ninth is Sam, and Diz is in 10th place position. And obviously, this is important to see right now, because obviously regarding the championship, the drivers that you see here, the top 8 will be carrying ballast as they go into this race as well. And we'll see how those guys get on this evening with those ballasts. No Sky Schundermeyer here tonight, no Tibbs racing this evening. Instead, it's going to be Max Mulder carrying the most weight tonight. And I do have all the weights in front of me. Oh, I did, and I lost the page, so give me 2 seconds. But the Hungaroring, a circuit that we've done particularly not many events around here. It's definitely a tricky circuit. The F1 has literally just been here, and you saw how tricky the circuit is for them. And we'll start the night off with the running order for the weight. Obviously, Sky Schundermeyer leading the way. He will carry 40 kilos worth of ballast if he was racing tonight, but obviously he will not be racing tonight, so he will not be carrying that ballast. That will obviously change for next week. Max Mulder is carrying 35 kilos, of Beasley with 30 kilos on board his car. Matthew Duffin's going to be carrying 25 kilos, while Senna will be carrying 20. While Senna's carrying 20, Tim Venting, who are currently on board, we're carrying 15 kilos as well, while Barrett with a 10 will go the way of Clouden. So really not going to hamper Clouden too much, but as you can see already, even with that weight on board, Beasley carrying probably one of the few heaviest weights. He's currently got 30 kilos on board, and he's not quite fastest, but he's obviously still up there. Max Mulder 4/10 off the pace at the minute. Matthew Duffin currently 8/10 off the pace as well. So all those guys you thought would struggle with the ballast, but at the minute looking quite strong, as you got the 2 pink BSP cars following one another, the Aston Martins, as it is a Porsche leading the race, leading the standings at the minute. And that's oh great, another name that I'm going to struggle with. Coupiers. We'll go with Coupiers because that's what I can pronounce, but you know. Evening to P. Williams in the chat, evening to Tibbs, and I'm so looking forward to another action-packed racing of GT4s. Obviously, with the weights that are on board these cars, we will obviously not just be doing a weights race, we'll be also doing a reversed grid championship as well. So the first race is going to be a reverse grid, and it's going to be in championship order as well. So it's going to be Max Mulder towards the back of the pack, as he is now the leading championship contender, with Richard Beasley joining him as well. Tim Ventink at the back as well, and Matthew Duffin as well. With this short 20-minute sprint, it should be interesting to see how they get on. A few new cars to see this evening. We've got Dean Wasocki joining the championship tonight. He's in the Ginetta. Dean Wasocki going for the blue and yellow livery there. He's joined here this evening. Michael also joined us, the Nissan driver from Pro-Am. He's joined us in the 366 Mercedes-Benz. Nice to see him joining us. Coupiers, I don't believe, did the first race, so it's nice to see Coupiers here in race 2. And also we got DJ Phil in a different car this evening. He's brought the Chevy Camaro with him as well. So it's nice to see a variety of different cars. We should also be having Gary131 joining us as well, but we'll see how early he gets on. But we still got a couple of cars out on track, and that is Richard Beasley currently on a lap. As we see in the background, there is a car currently circling, and I'm trying to figure out who it is. It is Dean Wasocki. He's a bit laggy, so I'm not going to go on board with him. I want to do a lap of the Hungaroring, so we'll go with Kimberly if he will complete a lap time. So we'll go on board with Kimberly, and there is Gary Leach joining us over. He's also gone for the Ginetta as well. But like I said, we're in Hungary for the Hungaroring, and Kimberly goes a little bit wide going into the final part of the lap. And now we go into the pit lane as Kimberly's deciding to pit, so that really helps me out there. Cloudon's in the pits. Who else is out on track? We got Sam. Hopefully Sam will complete a lap time for me in the Aston Martin. So go on board with Sam and take a lap around in the Aston Martin. Making sure you get a good exit out of the final corner and head down towards turn 1. A long straight here, probably your best opportunity to overtake, but obviously these GT4s can get a lot closer and a lot harder with one another, so anywhere is really doable. As he brakes just before the board on the left hand side, turning into turn 1, down to first gear, probably short shift up to second, run all the way out, use the curve to your advantage, head down towards then the left hander, brake it just as the curve comes up there, and dropping down to second gear, trying to get the nose turn in as the front end wants to slide and understeer away, and you try and swoop it back in for turn 3. Not pretty much flat out in these cars, probably in the GT3s as well, as they head up towards turn 4. A blind corner, brake at the curb, commit, turn in, halfway through, put your foot down as Sam runs a little bit wide into then 5. Do not want to touch that inside curve, the car will become unsettled as he then heads over to 6 and 7, the chicane. Brake it just again on the curve on the left hand side, trying to abuse as much as the curve as you possibly can. These GT4s can handle them. As he then heads towards turn 8, into the tricky downforce section where these cars really don't have it, into 9, he runs a little bit wide, goes through 9, then flows into 10, take as much curve on the inside again, into 11, braking at the curb, get the front end turned in, and then put your power down halfway through the corner. And as he's down towards 11, towards 12, braking just at the curb again, get all your braking done and gears down before you turn in, or the car will start to slide like so. Into 13, braking just under the bridge, get the front end turn in once again into first gear, get a good exit, get a good run to then hit the final corner, and you really have to be patient in the final corner. And Sam trying his very best to get the front to turn in, the car understeering, now wants to oversteer on exit and towards the line, and that is a lap of the Hungaroring, and Sam doesn't manage to get a lap time on the board, as I will now change camera once again. But it's Coupier's fastest of them all. Beasley sat in second, with Tim Ventink in third, Max Mulder fourth, Cloudon fifth, Barrett sixth, Duffin seventh, Gray in eighth, Michael ninth, Kimberly in 10th, Senna 11th, S2M Burbeck's 12th, Bell in 13th, DJ Phil 14th, Holling in 15th, 16th is Raiden. Sam still yet to put a lap time on the board, as has Dean Wasocki, and Gary Leach is also now coming out on track, but missing out on a bit of practice, but I'm sure he'll get a setup all dialed in and ready to go as we get things underway for the reverse grid race with ballast. This should be interesting. Like I said, the top 8 will be carrying ballast. In this case, it was top 7. So Max Mulder carrying the most weight. He has got 35 kilos on board, with Richard Beasley sat with 30. Matthew Duffin will have 25. Senna with 20. 15 will be Tim Ventink. 10 will be Barrett. And 5 will be Clouden. Reminder as well, these guys have not been testing with this ballast this week at all until they got the server reset. Obviously, because the GT3s use the same server and we don't put ballast on the drivers in the GT3s because they've not got the ballast in practice. This free practice has literally been their one and only practice session with the ballast on. Be a grid order, obviously, due to reverse grid and some of these guys not turning up. It is Gary Leach on pole position from Michael from Kupiers, from Dean Wasocki, DJ Phil. Your top 5 are your newcomers, with Kimberly in 6th, Bell in 7th, Raiden in 8th, S2M Burbeck's 9th, Gray will start 10th, Holling will start 11th, Sam 12th. Clouden will start in 13th, Barrett 14th, Tim Ventink 15th, 16th is Senna, 17th is Duffin, 18th is Beasley, and at the back is Max Mulder. This is going to be a spicy reverse sprint race here as we get things underway. As my N on my computer seems to be playing up a little bit, and my spacebar, so that's lovely, isn't it? So, who do we think is going to take the first win tonight? As they will now try and get themselves some temperature into their cars. Obviously, track temperature here is hot. They will have their own settings. Obviously, we set these guys for today's weather. And it should be interesting to see how these guys get on tonight. I'm just currently making a poll for you guys in the chat. Right, there we go. There is your poll on who you think is going to take the first win tonight. Get your votes in. If you don't think it's any of the drivers above, then feel free to put it in the chat who you think is going to win this race. So it's Gary Leach on pole position from Michael from Kupiers. We've got a different car class front row. We've got the Ginetta, Mercedes, and the Porsche. We've got Dean Wasocki in 4th, DJ Phil in that Chevy Camaro in 5th. We've got Kimberly in 6th, Bell in 7th, Raiden in 8th, S2M Burbeck in 9th, Ian Gray in 10th, Holling in 11th, Sam in 12th. Then you got your first weights with Clouden, 5 kilos on board in 13th, Barrett with 10 kilos on board in 14th. Then you got Tim Ventink with 15 kilos in 15th, 20 kilos for Senna, 25 kilos for Duffin in 17th, 30 kilos for Beasley in 18th, and a Max Mulder with 35 kilos on board. Sky Schondermeyer would have had... who's that gone off? Was that? Yeah, Matthew Duffin's at a moment. So Gary Leach will now start to back the pack up, get them all congested as we get ready for the first sprint race tonight. 2 sprint races, 2 20-minute races. First one's reverse grid and ballast, as we will see how these guys get on. No pit stops required. As we got ourselves set and ready for the first week of racing here at the Hungaroring. As they all now come into the final corner. It is Gary and Michael. Ginetta versus Mercedes on the front row. Who is going to be the victor here tonight? Round 2 of the GT4 Championship, and we are...
Green light, go, go, go.
Green at the Hungaroring, as we expect. The Ginetta will probably have a slower start than the Mercedes to the left-hand side, as the Porsche as well. The Chevy Camaro should be strong in a straight line as well, but the BMW mighty in a straight line. The Porsche already flashing his lights, but Gary diving into turn 1 and trying to hold on to the lead as best he can, as everyone now folds their way into the corner. No one opted to take a Max Verstappen line and running wide. There is a car wide at the back there. That looks like a BMW possibly. Oh, there's contact at the back. There's Barrett. There's cars everywhere. Kimberly's facing the wrong way. I'm not even sure who's at the very back there. That is Raiden, who's dropped to the back of the pack. Gary Leach has had a moment. He's lost the lead of the race. And it is now, who's leading now? It is Gupier's leading the way from Bell, from Phil, DJ Phil. And already I've been having to try to keep up. But Gupier's leading away from Bell, from DJ Phil, and oh, there's more contact. Sam's had contact with S2M Burbex, his fellow FBR driver, as they try and get themselves back on track. There is Clouden going around the outside over the curb, and there's all sorts of cars everywhere in this middle sector. As Gary's trying to fight, as Matt's fighting his way through the pack. Cloud's gone round, as is S2M Burbex. There's more cars everywhere, as they all try and get themselves going again. Coupier's managing to disappear into the distance with Bell, with DJ Phil, with Sam. S2M Burbeck's dropped to the back. Tim Venting's up into 5th place. Duffin now up into 6th. Ian Gray in 7th. Gary Leach dropping down to 8th, with Beasley up into 9th. Max Mulder's gone with him. Michael's dropped to the back. Barrett's dropped back. Harling and Senna all there at the back of the pack, with Kimberly, Raiden, Dean Wasaki, Clouden, and S2M Burbeck's to the back of the pack. But right now there's a train forming behind the Chevy Camaro of DJ Phil, as Sam in the Aston Martin looking to the inside of the Chevy. Both relatively strong in a straight line, so it should be quite even going into turn 1. Tim Venting's looking to go up the inside as well, but Sam gets the job done. DJ Phil gives the space and respect, and Tim goes up the inside as well. And DJ Phil losing 2 positions in 1 corner there. The car next to challenge him is Matthew Duffin. Meanwhile, Gary Leach has got himself up and going now. He's ready to go, as he's managed to get a lap underneath him, and he's got Max Mulder just in front of him. Gary Leach actually dropping behind Max Mulder, so Max gained a position there, but Beasley looking to move forward as well. As Sam's actually holding up Tim Ventink a little bit here. Tim Ventink is looking to the inside of the chicane, can't do anything about it there. The trickier part of the circuit to overtake. As Matthew Duffin also looking to make a move on DJ Phil up the inside. Meanwhile, Tim Ventink has got the job done on Sam, or has he? Because Sam will then have the inside again, and Sam's going to run Tim Ventink wide. He does so. Matthew Duffin's right behind them, meanwhile, keeping an eye on all the action. And Sam's still there. They're still side by side. This is really going to allow Matt to have a great run, and it has. He's looking left, he's looking right, and he's thinking better of attacking it. And Sam's still on the inside. They're still side by side. And Tim Ventink and Sam run a little bit wide. Matt's going to have a snoop up the inside, and Tim now goes from attacking to defending. And Tim now holding off Matthew Duffin, but Sam gains that position. That all started off right here at this corner when they attacked DJ Phil. But that's allowing Coupiers and Bell to get away, and Sam now holding up the train. And Tim Ventink is getting right into this position. They're all following one another. And Sam defending the inside. He wants to hog that inside as much as he possibly can. And Matt just watching as all this unfolds. And Tim's going to get the undercut. Yes, he is. He gets the swoop. But Sam will have better momentum. DJ Phil's just been mugged by Gray and a few others. Sam's going to keep it to the inside, though. They're still side by side going into turn 2. Tim's braver on the brakes, but he's going to run wide. And Sam's still side by... Nope, Tim's got the job done. Tim is through. Now it's Matthew Duffin's turn to try and find a way past on Sam, if he can do so. Meanwhile, DJ Phil's been swamped as Beasley, Mulder and Leach has dropped back. But it's Mulder and Beasley now attacking Gray. Well, Tim Ventink hasn't quite dropped Sam. Sam's still there. Now Tim Ventink trying to open up the Aston Martin now to try and pull away, and Sam missing his brakes ever so slightly. He's going to run deeper to the chicane, and Matt's made contact with Sam. Sam's gone off. And Matthew Duff... Oh, and Ian and Sam have made contact. Sam's gone off into the wall, major damage to his car. as he'll try and get going once again, as Matthew Duffin making contact with Sam there. Ian Gray dropping down the order. Multiple cars dropping. There's cars oh, there's more contact there. Ian Gray contact with Michael and Barrett as well. So multiple cars involved there, as Duffin, Beasley and Mulder have all worked their way out from the back of the pack. A bit chaotic here already, as Croupiers leads the way from Bell in second. Croupiers really pulling away in that Porsche. Tim Venting hunting him down in third, with Matthew Duffin in fourth at the minute, being hunted down by Beasley and Mulder. DJ Phil still in seventh, solid points for him. Gary Leach in eighth, Senna in ninth, Kimberly in 10th, Barrett 11th, Clouden 12th, Sam 13th, Holling 14th, Raiden is in 15th, Esteban Borobex in 16th, and Ian Gray into the pits, as is Michael Dimasaki back of the pack. Meanwhile, Matt is coming under some pressure from the two Aston Martins behind. The two with the most weight, Beasley and Max Mulder. Gary Leach has passed DJ Phil. And now we've got Kimberly being hunted down by Barrett and Clouden. As Tim Venting has already caught up to Bell. So Matt really hasn't gone with Tim here. Obviously the contact with Sam earlier on probably held him up as well, thinking he might have to give the place back. Oh, Max Mulder's all over the grass and trying to find a way through on a Beasley, but can't find a way through at this stage. DJ Phil under some more pressure from Senna. A bit messier from the GT4s tonight, as we see here Bell and Tim Venting going at it. Tim, oh, they got very close there, and Tim gets the position and up another place he goes. Meanwhile, Matthew Duff is still trying to defend from the two Aston Martins behind. Now we got Senna and DJ Phil going at it. DJ Phil's run wide, and he's going to try and return back on track safely, and he does so. But Tim now clearing Bell. Can he do anything about Croupiers, who's just gone, disappeared into the distance? As Ian Gray comes back out on track. Max Mulder right behind Beasley, looking for any opportunity to find a way through. Can't do so there. And we see here the BMW so strong in a straight line. That is Clouden looking to the inside of Barrett. That 5 kilos on Clouden's car probably not doing that much. But we'll see later on in the second race when they could do a bit of qualifying. And that's Kimberly sending it down the inside of Senna. Senna saw him coming, and Kimberly gets the job done. A little bit out of control, but he does get the job done, and up position he goes. Senna dropping down, Barrett now right behind him. Meanwhile, Duffin has got Gray in the way, and Gray needs to jump out of the way as soon as he possibly can. But we go back to this fight where we got Kimberly, Senna, Barrett and Clouden all going at it for 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th, and Clouden looking to the outside of the Mercedes driver. Is he going to get the job done? He's going to bounce over the curb, and he makes contact with the Mercedes driver, but they're still side by side, and he does get the job done. Meanwhile, back to the front, Croupiers managing to maintain that gap to Tim Venting at the minute. Bell is under some immense pressure now from Matthew Duffin, who's got his old-fashioned way of flashing lights, and he's going to switch underneath the BMW driver and send it into the penultimate corner. Beasley's dropped behind Max Mulder, but Duffin gets the job done on Bell, and up into the top 3 he goes. And Bell looking to try and get back at Matt, but he can't quite do it. But this is where the BMW is strong. Down the main straight, Matthew Duffin's going to struggle to keep that BMW behind him as they go down the main straight now. And there you go, the BMW reeling in that Ginetta like it's nothing, and he's sending it into turn 1. But Matt, much braver on the brakes, stays around the outside, and Bell can't do anything about it, and he stays behind Matthew Duffin. Now Max Mulder is looking to attack the BMW driver. the Aston Martin does look like the all-round better car at the minute in this GT4 Championship. We are past the halfway stage, and Gary Leach and Michael were the two favourites to win, and I don't think they're going to be the ones to win this one. Oh, Max sideways going over the King, can't find a way past on Bell, and this is just bringing the pack together again. Kimberly's not a million miles away from Leach. There's Clouden running wide, Barrett's just there, Sam, DJ Phil's still there, Holling, and S2M Burbex. Raiden's not too far away either. But it's all now starting to get congested behind Bell. It's a Bell from Mulder, from Beasley, from Leach at the minute. And this is where the BMW struggles, the middle sector. It really hurts him, and he gets a fairly average exit, but Max Mulder has had a very good exit but can't get alongside the BMW driver. But he goes later on the brakes, dives down the inside and gets the job done, and Beasley swoops underneath as well, and job done. And Bell has hit Beasley. Darren Bell has hit Beasley. Somebody wasn't really giving him a hard time, and he spun him round, and now Gary Leach gains another position out of that. Darren Bell flashing the lights an awful lot, don't know why, but he's now under some pressure from Kimberly and Senna right behind him. And here they all come, including Clouden as well, right in this gaggle of cars. Down the main straight they go. Obviously difficult to compete against that BMW as Clouden looks to the inside of Kimberly and gets the better run in the BMW. And will be much faster, but Clouden nearly hits Bell, who has a moment on his own. And they all dive into the second, and there Bell makes contact with Senna. So Bell making a mistake there, hitting Senna and dropping down the order. Meanwhile, DJ Phil has got a lapped car right behind him. And is that... Yep, that is Matthew Duff is still ahead of Max Mulder, but Croupiers meanwhile had a comfortable lead going into the start of this one. He's leading away from Tilly Ventink in second, really kind of just matching him at the minute. Matthew Duffin sat in third place with a comfortable gap over Max Mulder in fourth, Gary Leach in fifth, sixth is Beasley, and seventh is this fight between Kimberly, Clouden, Barrett, Senna, Bell, and now Sam all involved in this scrap. But Kimberly's hanging in there in the Ginetta, strong in the middle sector, going to be weak down the main straight. There, Kimberly runs a little bit wide, so does Bell. And Sam in the background. Oh, and Kimberly's gone a little bit deep. That's going to invite Clouden possibly to have a snip up the inside. Clouden looking for any opportunity to find his way through. As they now come down the main straight, Clouden that straight line advantage on the Ginetta. Is he going to send it up into turn one once again? Clouden sending it, he's going for it, he's looking. The M4 has the better run, but the Ginetta brakes later, tries to go around the outside a bit better, try and get the grip, and it does, and it managed to out-drag the BMW, but the power kicks in once again. Clouden looking to the outside of turn two, he's not going to get the job done there, and nearly makes contact with the Ginetta, but manages to get it stopped. Up towards the left, King, and Clouden's on the wrong side, but he's going to try around the outside. He does get the advantage. He's on the inside then for the next corner. Kimberly has to bail. Barrett's there as well, so the Ginetta on the wrong side of the circuit. Senna's there as well. Senna's now trying to optimize from this. And Barrett down the inside makes contact with the Ginetta. Kimberly has to go straight on. And a little bit of a push and shove there from Barrett, but Kimberly trying to hang in there. And it's all started off by the kink, and Senna now goes through as Sam has cleared Bell. Now it's I think it was Michael clearing DJ Phil, as DJ Phil's got S2M Borobex right behind him. Holling in 15th, Raiden 16th, Dean Wasocki 17th, 18th is Gray, and Michael working his way back through the order. Meanwhile, Croupiers has lost a little bit of time to Team Venting. Tim has been slowly creeping his way through their gap. Matt's holding it strong in 3rd place at this minute. Max Mulder really not making any dent on his lead, but Gary Leach trying to work slowly onto him as well. As we've got 2 Aston Martins going against the 2 Janettas here. Clouden now up into 7th place with Barrett in 8th. Senna 9th and Kimberly 10th. That's your top 10. And Sam, it was a little bit naughty there from Bell indeed. As we're now coming to the last 4 minutes of this race. We've still got some close fights here. Senna and Kimberly going at it at the minute. This is your probably not actually. This is your closest fight. S2M Borobex, DJ Phil, and Holling as they head towards turn 2. As S2M Borobex sends it up the inside of DJ Phil. DJ Phil gives him the space and respect. And up through another place goes S2M Borobex. Now it's Holling's attempt to try and find a way through on the Chevy Camaro. As DJ Phil has a slide there, manages to catch it, and Holling looking for an opportunity briefly. Meanwhile, Senna brought the gap down to Barrett. Kimberly's there with him. Just has to recover as Beasley's got himself a drive-through for track limits. So Richard Beasley has a drive-through penalty for track limits here. And that's not just going to be in these cars. We'll be keeping an eye on it in the GT3s as well. But who else is on their last strike? That is the question. As Croupiers once again has responded to Tim and extended that gap once again. And you can see Tim in the background there. There he is. He's got quite a healthy lead over Matthew Duffin. Just minding his own pace. Max Mulder is now starting to creep ever so slightly to Duffin. As is Gary, slowly creeping on to Mulder. Beasley obviously has a drive-through to commit. Barrett and Clouden, similar pace at the minute. Senna's pulling away from Kimberly. It's now Sam being chased by Michael there, who's a lapped car. Bell's had another moment by the looks of things because he's being caught by S2M Borobex. So S2M Borobex and Bell are your closest fight at the minute, I would say. I say that. DJ Phil and Holling are going at it. Holling looking to the outside of turn 2. Can't quite get the job done there. As DJ Phil bouncing over the curbs in the Chevy Camaro. And now going through the left-hander. Holling can't find a way through. Meanwhile, Max Mulder has brought the gap down to Duffin ever bit more. It's now 1.5 seconds. Don't know what the gap will be when they come through the sector times now. As Clouden's losing out to Barrett. Kimberly's catching Senna. But we go back to this scrap. And again, another 210s taken out in that sector for Mulder. He's catching Duffin. Meanwhile, Beasley's catching Leach. But that's going to be pretty pointless because Gary knows he's got a drive-through behind, so he won't be worried about that too much. Croupiers now starts his final lap here, his final tour. So 10 laps around this circuit. That's all it is for these cars for 20 minutes. And Croupier goes a little bit deep into turn 1. He nearly spins it around. And there we see as Beasley comes into the pits to serve his drive-through. That's going to drop him right to the back of the pack. But Clouden now makes a position. Barrett moves up, and here we got Kimberly. Ian Gray being lapped by Senna there. A lot of cars out of position here. Not sure why Bell's having to go and defend the corner because that BMW should be faster in a straight line anyway. As Beasley does come back out. right behind Holling and DJ Phil. So there's still a couple of places for him to make there in one lap. We'll see how it goes. Tim Benting's brought the gap down quite significantly that time round. As now the table's now updating, Clouden started to come a little bit under pressure from the Mercedes driver, but obviously the sprint race format isn't going to give him enough time as Croupiers now comes into the middle sector and will start his final sector. And this middle pack is where it's all the fights happening. S2M Burrobex as well. Beasley's passing Holling there. Holling's gone wide. But it's this man. Started on pole position. Oh, sorry, started in the top 4. His first turn up into the GT4s. Can he continue this on going into the second race? But it is Croupiers who exits the final corner and wins round 3 of the championship. Congratulations to him. He takes the win here. Tim Venting's going to exit the final corner and he's going to finish in second place, near enough from the back of the pack. Great drive from him. And just hanging in there in the end is going to be Matthew Duffin in third in the Ginetta, finishing ahead of Max Mulder in fourth. It's then going to be Gary Leach in fifth. Sixth is then going to go the way of Clouden. Seventh is going to go the way of Barrett. Senna is going to come home for eighth. Ninth will be Kimberly. Sam is going to finish in 10th place position with Ian Gray and Michael 18th and 19th. Dean Wasocki 17th. Bell's going to come home for 11th place with S2M Burrobex in 12th. 13th will be DJ Phil. Beasley in 14th. Raiden is going to finish in 15th. And Holling returned back to pits there. And that is that. Race 1 done. And it is Croupiers on his first attempt there, taking the win. We will be back momentarily as we have got a short break now as we then go into the next sprint race, which will be a qualifying beforehand, and we'll see where all these guys feed in after that. But we will see you guys in a few moments' time.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the channel as we got ourselves underway now into the 15-minute qualifying session here at the Hungarian for the GT4. Now, this is going to be their one and only qualifying session of the night. And obviously the top 8 will still be carrying their ballast, so obviously nothing's changed since they've been in and out of the pits. Ballast stays on. So how can these guys handle the ballast in qualifying for that 1 lap pace? Will it hinder them, or will they end up working through it and changing their setups to help run that setup? So it's Beasley currently out at the minute in front, as I have a quick look at the championship standings after that round. So it's now Max Mulder leading the way, but only 2 points ahead of Matthew Duffin in second. Then it is Tim Ventink in third. Fourth is Sky Schondermeyer. Fifth is Richard Beasley. Sixth is Senna. And seventh is Barrett. In eighth is still Clouden. Ninth is Sam. 10th is Halling. S2M Burbex in 11th. 12th is Croupiers. There's a few cars still in the pits at the minute. Croupiers go straight into 12th place position. In 13th is Raiden. 14th is Bell. 15th is Gray, with 16th going the way of Diz. Kimberly in 17th place, with Leach in 18th. 19th is Cardoff. 20th is DJ Phil and Dimasaki in 21st. Michael in 22nd. And a few other drivers yet to start the season. But at the minute, these cars are currently out on track, and I believe it was Beasley, the first one to set a lap time. Reminder as well of the ballast situation is Max Mulder carrying 35 kilos, Beasley 30 kilos, 25 kilos for Duffin, 20 for Sky, for Senna, 15 for Tim Ventink, 10 for Barrett, and 5 for Clouden. As we get ourselves ready and raring to go into qualifying, Beasley will be the first to set at a lap time. Excuse me. As we see now, Barrett coming into the middle sector now. Is quite a long lap for these GT4s. Usually quite a quick lap for the Formula 1s, but for GT4s it takes a lot longer, and the GT3s are a little bit quicker. Obviously not a lot of downforce on these cars, nor in the GT3s, so you will not be seeing them hugging onto the corners as well as the F1 cars do. But at the minute, Richard Beasley looking like he's having a solid lap at the minute. Very clean, very tidy. No real mistakes. Pushing it right to the limit. Within control. Sounds like a BMW just in front of him. I believe that is... Actually, it does sound like a BMW, but I'm not sure which one. Possibly Bell, I think, in front. It is Bell. But Clouden Beasley is going to be the first one to set a lap time, and into the final corner he comes. So this is the benchmark to beat. Beasley comes to the line now and doesn't put a lap time on the board. Makes me look like an idiot. So we now wait for a lap to come to the board, and it is Sam who sets the current pace. Then Matt goes straight up to the top to go fastest overall. Clouden didn't put a lap time together. Anyone else into the final few corners now? There is DJ Phil. Has he set a lap time? Yes, he does. And Max Mulder also sets a lap time. He goes fastest overall. Where is Tim Ventink? He's coming out of the final corner. What does he do? No lap time on the board as Raiden crosses the line and goes P4. The 7-7, that is Gray coming to the line. He fails to put a lap time on the board, so he'll have to go again. The 366, I believe it is. No, I might be wrong. There might be... I don't know who's going to cross the line now. That was Dimasaki crossing the line, the 44. He goes up into 5th place. We now move to S2M Borobex. As Sven Borobex goes across the line, he will go into 5th place as Barrett goes faster and goes into 3rd place position. It is then next, the 366, I believe, is next. Yes, it is. It is Michael. These are still the first guys, first laps around. Michael now into the final corner. Tries to get a good exit towards the line. He puts himself into 7th. Then it is Bell in 13th at the minute. He crosses the line and goes 8th. Then it is Beasley, who hadn't put a lap time on the board. He has now and goes into 2nd. Duffin now coming to the line. There's a few in front. There's also Sam putting a lap time on the board. Duffin doesn't improve. Leach goes up into 2nd. A few laps under his belt, and he's now got into a rhythm here. As Coupier's still not put a lap time on the board. I believe that was DJ Phil going up to 11th, so improvements are happening. The 44 Dimasaki into the final few corners. We're looking to the 777 of Ian Gray, currently 8th at the minute. Can he find a little bit more time? No improvement from him. Dimasaki, I believe, is on an invalid lap, but I might be wrong. And Dimasaki to the line. No improvements. It must have been an invalid lap time. It's then 8.76 of Barrett. Looks like he's the next on a valid lap. Towards the line he comes. SM Burbex didn't complete a lap time. Towards the line now comes Barrett. No improvement. As we see, Smokey Devil has joined the session. He hasn't managed to get a lap time on the board just yet. As we've got the 3.66 of Michael, currently sat in 10th place at the minute. 7.5 minutes left of the session. And Michael now currently wanting to get further up in that top 10 in the Mercedes-Benz. Towards the line he comes, currently 2.4 off. He now gets within a second and goes up to 8th place. I believe it was Sam crossing the line. No, it wasn't. I'm not sure who it was. Beasley's the next car, and he goes in 4th. Clouden doesn't improve in 3rd. Who's then next to come to the line? We've got DJ Phil, the 53. Holling still not put a lap time, nor Tim Venting, nor Smokey Devil. So Tim Venting next to the line. DJ Phil comes across the line, 3.1. No improvement. Tim Venting has finally got a lap time on the board. Where does it put him? It puts him fastest overall. So a BSP 1-2 once again. The 2 pink Aston Martins at the front. Who's next on a valid lap? It looks like the 68 of S2M Burbex coming into the final sector now. Now what can S2M Burbex do in Ginetta? Currently 2.3 off the pace. Exits the final corner. What lap time is this going to be for him? No improvement and stays where he is. So next on a lap is Michael. Smokey Devil does get a lap time on the board. It puts him 15th. It is Michael next on a lap time. Then it's Beasley, Clouden, and then Gary 131. Into the final corner comes Michael. A decent exit as he improved 1.1 off the pace. He does improve, gets within half a second. The top 8 separated by half a second. Now Beasley to the line. Is he going to improve? He does. It goes up to 6th. Then it's Clouden. Any improvement from him? No improvement from him. Gary Leach in the Ginetta. Coming to the line. No improvement either. Croupier's next to the line. He goes fastest overall with a 53.7. Matthew Duffin's just struggling to find a little bit of time to keep with the guys in front. Who's that currently off? Someone was off track just then. That was, I believe, S2M Burbex. And everyone had to check up as Ian Gray comes out at the final corner. Currently 11th and stays 11th, but gets a lot closer. Finds 7 tenths. Top 10 separated by a second. Very, very close times here. Next to the line is Barrett in his Mercedes-Benz, currently half a second off the pace. Reminder, he's got a little bit of ballast on board as well, so that's probably hurting him in certain corners. Into the final exit, the final corner he comes. The Mercedes-Benz driver, half a second off. No improvement. There is Smoky Devil in front of this train. I think this entire train did not complete a lap. They're all trying to clear up some space. So now it's Beasley into the final sector. Can he improve on 7th place? Carrying the most ballast, reminder, or second to most. Max Mulder carrying the most and currently sat in 3rd. Beasley now exiting the final corner. Any improvement on 7th? No improvement, stays where he is. Gary Leach now exits the final corner. Half a second off the pace. Can he find a little bit more time? No, but he carries on going. It's better to stay out and keep going round. Pump in the lap times, try and get into a rhythm and try and improve on where you are. Trying to find out who's now next coming into the final few corners here. It's Croupiers, who's currently leading the way by a 10th. Is he going to improve a bit more? No, he is not. Gray now to the line. Still stays in 11th. Still 1.3 off the pace. A reminder as well, the top 10 separated by a second. And we look to Barrett once again, the next car to complete a valid lap. Then we look to Smoky Devil. But into the final corner comes Barrett. And out the final corner, to the line he comes. And no improvement from him. Smoky Devil next on a valid lap. Is this going to improve his position? Yes, it is. It puts him up to 12th. Dean Wasocki now on a lap time. Hopefully this should pumping up the board a little bit more. It does not. It keeps him in 16th place. Sam, meanwhile, in 10th place position in the FBR. Aston Martin currently still a second off the pace. Any improvement? No improvement from Sam. We look to Gary Leach once again, who's hanging that Ginetta sideways, trying to find the limit of the Ginetta. And at the minute, the cars that have currently got P next to their name are in the pit lane, and they are done. They will not complete the rest of the session. There's a few cars actually now that Sam's in the pits. He's done, as is Smoky Devil, as is S2 and Burbex. DJ Phil is on an invalid lap. It's Ian Gray once again next to the line in his grey Porsche. Croupier is getting out of the way of Gray and also trying to build a bit of a gap so that he can then launch himself into his final run. And down the straight Ian Gray goes, no improvement, and he stays where he is. A few cars coming to the end of their session. Barrett now next one on a valid lap, 17 seconds, so I think pretty much down to the last car in the final corner might be able to get a lap time. Barrett does improve. Cloudon's on his last lap. Who is that on his last lap? That is Matthew Duffin. I think he might just get in for another lap. He improves and sneaks in one more, so he can complete this lap. Beasley, the next one to come to the line. The two cars that are in the final corner are done and out of qualifying. So Beasley now into the final corner. Currently sat in 7th place. Is this going to be an improvement for him? He finally exits the final corner. To the line he comes, and he does not improve. Clearly making a mistake somewhere and losing out. So there we got DJ Phil is then next on a flying lap, followed by Ian Gray. Croupiers, which I think he's pretty much got pole position in place. Only really Tim Venting, I think, can really spoil the party for him. But DJ Phil now into the final corner. Running a little bit wide in the Chevy Camaro there, but comes to the line now. And DJ Phil does not improve. Ian Gray next on a lap time. 1.3 off the pace. Does he improve? He does not improve. Croupiers comes into the pit lane. It is then Matthew Duffin is on a lap, and it is Tim Venting and Clouden. Croupiers done. It's Tim Venting to the line. Is he going to improve? He does, and takes pole position away. So Tim Venting takes pole right at the end there. Clouden on a lap time though as well. So is he going to now improve? He's currently 6th, 8/10 off the fastest. And he now goes into 2nd place. Leaving it to the last minute, these guys are. Here comes Matthew Duffin. Any improvement from him? No, he stays in 8th place position. Wow. Clouden and Tim Venting pulled the lap times out right at the end there, and they will start on the front row. And another front row start for Clouden. But as you can see there, Beasley and Max Mulder is the highest weighted car, so he starts 4th. Beasley in 7th, Matt in 8th. So there's your heavyweights, and then obviously Tim Venting and Clouden using that weight to their advantage, being lighter. Obviously they'll change, obviously go to the next round of the championship, which I believe will be Watkins Glen. So your running order for this final race tonight, only another 20-minute race once again, no pit stops required. It's going to be Tim Venting on pole with Clouden in 2nd, 3rd is Croupiers, 4th is Max Mulder, 5th is Barrett, 6th is Gary Leach, 7th is Richard Beasley, 8th is Matthew Duffin, 9th will be Michael, 10th is Sam, Ian Gray is 11th, Bell is 12th, 13th is S2M Burrow Bex, 14th DJ Phil, 15th Dean Wasocki, 16th Raiden, 17th is Senna, 18th is Kimberly, and at the back of the pack is Holling. So we had a little bit of a spike there from the server. Smokey Devil has gone. He's managed to get back into the lobby, I believe. Yes, he has. So his qualifying session has been undone because he's had an internet spike. As I will get another poll going for you wonderful people. Reminder as well, guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport. And a reminder as well, we've got a GT3 action-packed week ahead of us. Still staying at the Hungara Ring. It's a shame we're not going to Spa after this, because that would have been well planned out for the Formula One, but sadly not. We go stateside. So yeah, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action here. And also, while you're there, head down into our description as well, where you can see our fantastic sponsors down below, Audio Sport and Design Manchester as well. Give them a follow on all their social media and websites. I can't spell Mulder for some reason. And there we go. Your poll is now up on who you think is going to win race 2. So make sure you go and have a look at our fantastic sponsors. If you do want to be a part of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport, and you do want to be racing on the grid in these fantastic GT4s, I keep saying Ginettas. If you want to drive these fantastic GT4s, then head over to our Discord, get yourselves into the server, get yourself signed up on the sign-up sheets as well. And also while you're there, you will have to do a hot stint in a GT3 car around Barcelona, so we can see if you ever choose to go into a GT3 category where we would put you based on your pace. It's going to be an interesting fight for the top guys. Tim Venting, Clouden, Coupiers and Mulder. It's going to be a hard fight. And as I probably would expect, it's going to be very close racing. A lot of contact probably involved. But hopefully these guys will manage it to address themselves and be fair to one another. Guys, again, vote on who you think is going to win at this rate. Excuse me. So you got Tim Venting and Clouden on the front row. Aston Martin versus BMW once again, as they now get themselves into 2x2 formation. And into the final corner we go. Race 2 of the night for the GT4s. Who's going to take the win for the second race this evening? Tim Venting versus Jamal Clouden on the front row. Aston versus BMW. We now wait for the call.
Green light, go, go, go.
We are now green here for the final time for the GT4s, and Clouden doesn't get the best of starts. Tim Venting got a brilliant start, but already that BMW straight line advantage. Looking to the outside of turn 1. Is Clouden going to try and go all the way around the outside? It looks like he's going to try, and Dean Wasoki's way out of control, and multiple cars involved. Multiple cars involved. Dean Wasoki really causing the main cause of that, and he's way off as well. Not sure exactly what happened there, but a little bit of chaos there as Tim Venting and Clouden get away. Max Mulder is now up into P3 and right behind Clouden. Excuse me, that was Valtteri Bottas style, that was, just taking out the entire pack. As now the times start to update, it is now Beasley ahead of Leach, ahead of Michael, ahead of Senna, ahead of Kimberly, ahead of Gray, ahead of Raiden. Where's Matthew Duffin in all this? Matthew Duffin's dropped to 16th place and got probably a bit of damage to his car. Yeah, a bit of major damage to the side of his car. But Croupier's got damage to his as well. And Dean Wasoki's car has probably seen better days. Barris is damaged, and a few others as well, as they all get themselves going. But Tim Venting leads the way, but Clouden is already on the attack in the BMW, but can't find a way through at the minute. Max Mulder is right there as well. Clouden's in a pink sandwich at the minute, and he's got the two BSP, and Clouden's gone wide, and Max Mulder up the inside and through he goes. As Beasley in 4th, ahead of Leach, ahead of Michael, ahead of Senna, ahead of Kimberly, ahead of Gray, ahead of Holling, ahead of Bell, ahead of Croupiers, who's going to go around the outside of Bell in the final corner. That's a brave move, especially with that amount of damage on the front end of his car, and can't get the job done. Raiden's dropped down the order, as to his Esteban Borobex, and it's Matthew Duffin now behind that fight. Barrett coming into the pits with major damage there, but it's Tim Venting leading the way, but it's Clouden coming back on the attack of Max Mulder into turn 2, and Max holding it strong on the outside, but Clouden's got the inside advantage and gets the job done, but the rear steps out ever so slightly, and Max gets back through. Max Mulder and Clouden going at it at the minute. They go up to the left-hand king. Clouden thinks better of it, going through there as Beasley slowly creeping on back of him and bringing Gary Leach with him. Michael not quite on the back of these guys as well. Senna just staying ahead of Kimberly, ahead of Gray, ahead of Holland. Cooper is working his way up. Bell's working his way up as Matthew Duff is just struggling to get onto the back of these guys. Tim Venting from Mulder, from Clouden, from Beasley. So at the minute, Tim Venting's got everything on control. He's got a rear gunner of Max. Clouden's just dropped off the back of him, which you would expect in that BMW in this middle sector. Beasley obviously going to be trying to make sure he doesn't get another drive through, keep it within track limits. As right at the back there, Croupiers is making a move on Holling and gets the job done. That's another place made up. He's now after the next Porsche of Ian Gray, who's had a decent start. Kimberly in 8th, with Senna just in front of them. That's a close little fight there at the minute. But watch the BMW pull away from the Aston. As the BMW's got mighty straight line speed. Meanwhile, Leach is now hunting Michael Beasley down quite a bit here, and Gary carrying a lot of speed into turn 1. But can't quite get the job done there. Gonna take a little bit longer, I think. Gray, meanwhile, was on the back of Kimberly. I'm starting to give him a bit of a hard time. Matthew Duffin struggling to catch the pack of Bell and Holling just in front of him, probably carrying major damage to his car. But Gray looking a lot more confident in that Porsche here. Really didn't suit to Laguna to go through the left-hand kink. And Cloudon's brought that gap back once down again to Max. Max has made a mistake. He bounces over that curb and kept the Aston under immense pressure there. Meanwhile, Gary Leach is pressurising Richard Beasley. Aston Martin just struggling to keep the Ginetta behind. And Gary Leach looking for any opportunity to find a way through. Can't do so at the minute. He won't have the straight line advantage as Beasley goes a little bit deep into that right-hander, and Gary can't really make any advantage of that. Cloudon needs to try and stick to the back of the Aston Martins and try and use that straight line advantage down the main straight when he can. And Matt's now caught up to the pack, so he's trying to work his way back up the order. Obviously pit stops would have helped him out now, but obviously a straight sprint, that's not going to happen here. Senna is under some pressure from Kimberly. But again, that Ginetta just in a straight line isn't strong enough, especially around this section of the track, as Gary Leach is struggling to find out at this stage. Top 3 still close to one another. As Max Mulder now takes fastest lap. Right now we see Kimberly pressurising Senna at the minute. Senna bounces over that curb, really unsettles the car. Kimberly's got a better run. He's looking to the outside of the left kink. They make contact, they rub doors. Senna takes more of the curb and they survive for now, but now they've got 2 Porsches right behind them. And Kimberly's gone from attacking to defending and about to lose out to 2 Porsches as they head up to the chicane. That's going to be a bold move, and Gray sending it up the inside, making contact with Kimberly. They both had to straight line the chicane. Gray really does need to give up that position, ideally. And right now, Gray may take advantage of that, but he's obviously gained an advantage by not making the chicane. And Gray now moving to 1. He's defending the inside. And Croupiers went right around the outside, but kind of went too far. And Gray's now attacking back up the inside. And he gets the job done. He stops Croupiers from getting through. Croupiers runs wide. And now Kimberly's coming around the outside. And Croupiers makes contact with Gray. Gray goes wide. And Cooper is trying to give the position back. Yes, he is. And he has done so. Kimberly now gets past both of them. And Kimberly all over the curb there. Croupier is going to get the switch back. No, not quite, because Kimberly gets the switch back on Ian Gray. Ian Gray has a wobble. Meanwhile, Matthew Duffin has already cleared the gaggle of cars behind him. And Ian Gray and Kimberly still going at it. Croupiers hits back and then multiple contact there. And that all stems from Croupiers giving a little bit of a push. Kimberly finds reverse and gets right out of the way. Meanwhile, Tim Venting and Max Mulder are pulling away 1 and 2. Clouden in third. And here, Beasley's under some immense pressure from Gary Leach. And Gary makes contact with him. Beasley got it going again. But Michael gains from all of that. And these two still going side by side. Gary looking for an opportunity around the outside. Beasley and Gary make contact. Again, Michael with the benefactor and all of that. And Gary and Michael really pushing hard here. And as they're too busy fighting one another, Michael goes, well, thank you very much, I'll take that position, no problem. And through he goes. Meanwhile, Croupiers still ahead of Matthew Duffin, who are trying to catch the leading pack. Meanwhile, we've got this squabble, Bell, Holling, S2M Borobex and Sam. Raiden currently in 14th place position ahead of Gray, Kimberly and Smoky Devil. DJ Phil in 18th. Dean Wasocki in the warm. Barrett repairing his damage earlier on. Max Mulder and Tim Venting have both got purple. Have they both done the fastest lap of the race? A 54.1 from Venting. We are at the half. And a 54.1 from Max Mulder. They've matched each other. So the teammates have matched each other on lap times. That's incredible. Oh, if they can hold on to that fastest lap together, I'm not sure what we'll do there. We'll have to award both of them a point, I guess. Right now, Gary Leach still pressurising the back of Beasley. And can't seem to find a way through at this stage. Michael's not really disappearing either. Meanwhile, Matthew Duffin's right on the rear wing of Croupiers. Bell's pulled away. Whoa! S2M Borobex all over the grass. And goes really wide. And obviously gets ahead of Hollin. But is that gaining an advantage off circuit? S2M Borobex gets ahead. Sam's now ahead. And meanwhile, we got this squabble. DJ... Oh, Gray has his own spin. Kimberly goes wide. And Smoky Devil benefits from all that. Oh, Gary really pushing the limits there. Probably a little bit too much, as is Senna. The rest of them just keeping it within track limits. But Holland's still trying to stay ahead of Sam at the minute. Dean Wasocki's back to the pits with major damage by the looks of things. But Tim Venting leading from Max Mulder. Barrett's now taking fastest lap of the race. So that didn't really live for very long. Clouden in third, fourth is Michael, fifth is Beasley, sixth is Gary Leach, seventh is Senna, eighth is Croupiers, ninth is Matt Duffin, Darren Bell in 10th, 11th is S2M Borobex, then it's Holling, then it is Sam, Raiden, Smoky Devil, Kimberly, Gray, DJ Phil, Wasocki and Barrett bringing up the rest of the positions. And Barrett goes ahead of Wasocki now. So it's all comfortable out in front for the two in front. And Michael still got pressure from Beasley, from Gary Leach. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Matt is right on the back bumper of Croupiers. Sam was on the back of Holland, but now is S2M Borobex attacking Bell. Excuse me. And Bell just trying to hang in there against the Ginetta driver. Bell bouncing over the curbs, still ahead of the Ginetta. Meanwhile, Beasley still defending from Gary. Matthews still trying to find a way past on Croupiers. Runs a little bit wide. They're now catching Senna pretty quickly. And Senna now starting to hold these guys up. Pete Radin's actually caught up to... No, sorry, he's lost the position to Smokey and Kimberly. They've moved up a position. Meanwhile, Matt and Croupiers are going side by side now. Matt to the inside. Porsche versus Ginetta. They're probably similarly matched, and Croupier's got a lot of damage to his car. Is he going to try and be braver around the outside? He's going to try it. Matt holds the inside strong. He's not going to have the best exit, though, compared to the Porsche. And then the Porsche will have the inside for the next corner. And there you go, Croupier's hold on to the position, but Matt undercuts him, tries to come back underneath, tries to get the swoop, but can't do so. Croupier's runs wide, and Matt once again side by side with him, heading up to the left-hand kink, and they break for the corner. Matt tries to hold it strong on the outside. He'll have to allow Croupiers to keep the position, because that's gaining an advantage off circuit. And right now, Matt has gained an advantage off track. We'll see how Croupiers feel about that if he puts it in for the stewards to see. Gary Leach, though, still behind Beasley, as they're now catching Michael and Barrett. Meanwhile, Senna still ahead of these guys at the minute. Bell still defending from S2M Borobex. S2M Borobex looks to the outside, can't get the job done. Sam has now done Holling and is up a position. Holling coming back though on the inside. Sam goes into the middle of the road, which he's entitled to do. One move and that was it. Bell's made a slight mistake. That's going to give S2M Borobex a sniff opportunity, and nearly making contact with him. And Michael is getting out of the way of these two. I'm not sure why. Michael just moved out of the way. You're racing them, mate. Okay, bit weird. But he jumps straight out of the way for some bizarre reason. Not sure why. That was odd. Don't know why he done that. He was in a race with them, but okay. So, Bell still heading ahead of S2M Borobex, Sam and Holling. That's that fight at the minute. Kimberly's giving Smokey Devil a hard time, and Smokey's in the wall. And Gray's now looking to make a move on P. Radin. Already, this race has gone pretty quickly already. And Gray looking to the inside. Phil runs wide. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. He will do. And Gray can't find a way through. Meanwhile, it's been pretty plain sailing if you're in a pink car. Leading the way has been Tim Ventink in first. In second has been Max Mulder. Clouden in third. Beasley is still hanging in there for fourth. Gary Leach in fifth. Sixth has gone the way of Michael, and Senna now under some immense pressure from Matthew Duffin. We'll end the poll there. Most of you thought that Tim Ventink was going to win this race, and it looks like he is going to. He just needs to keep it facing the right way. S2M Borobex has dropped down the order quite a bit. He's dropped behind Kimberly, Holling and Sam. Possible contact with Bell, not sure, as Michael's pitted. So has he underfueled himself? Possibly so, as Matt is back on the attack. Once again, he's attacking Senna for 6th place position. Groupie has gone very wide in the background in the Porsche. Duffin at the minute looking for any opportunity to find a way past on Senna. And Gary Leach still can't find a way past Beasley. Been stuck behind him pretty much all race. Now has Matt got a better run up towards the left-hand kink. He'd be brave to do the job there, but he's getting right up the back end of that Aston Martin. looking for a prime opportunity to find a way through, but can't do so at the minute. It's like obviously Michael dropping down the order. Oh, Senna's dropped it on his own. He's into the wall and he's got major damage to his car. Luckily there's no one coming towards him and he manages to get going. Meanwhile, Clouden has brought the gap down ever so slightly to Max Mulder, but Tim Ventic is going to lap around one more time. It's 10 laps around here in the GT4s, and it's going to be another 10 laps for these guys. Tim Venting from pole position is going to lead it from lights to flag by the looks of things, as he now starts his final lap here at the Hungaroring. From Max, from Clouden, then it's Barrett behind them, who's got fastest lap still. Beasley is currently fourth, with Gary still can't find a way through. This is his one and only chance, really, as Croupiers has caught Matthew Duffin once again. Senna has dropped down the order, but he's only dropped behind Croupiers, so he's only lost a position, really. 2 positions, sorry. As Bell still got pressure from Sam, Holling, Kimberly, Assetto Corsa, Gray, Raiden, DJ Phil, Michael, Smokey Devil, Barrett, and Dean Wasaki at the back. This is probably your closest fight on track. I say that, it's actually this, Croupiers and Matthew Duffin. Is Croupiers going to try and send it on Matthew Duffin? Matthew runs a little bit wide, and Croupier's going to try and find a way through. He's right on the rear wing of the Ginetta and can't find a way through. Meanwhile, Clouden has brought the gap down to Max Mulder even more, but this is the fight we're keeping it on. Matt runs a little bit wide, a little mistake there. The Porsche can see an opportunity, possibly opening up. We'll have to come back to them in a few moments' time, but this man from pole position likes to flag. Race 2 winner, it is Tim Ventink with another fantastic drive in the Aston Martin. He gains some decent points in this one. He exits the final corner to win round 4 of the championship. Congratulations to Tim. Well done to him. It's then going to be Max Mulder for second. Third is going to go the way of Jamal Clouden. Fourth is just going to hang in there for Beasley. And Gary Leach in fifth. Matthew Duffin's just going to hang in there ahead of Croupiers in 6th and 7th place position. Senna is going to come home and finish in 8th place. Barrett finishes 19th with the fastest lap. Dimasaki finishes in 20th. As meanwhile, Sam is going to try and get the run on Bell. Is he going to get the job done? Yes, he does. He gets it by 17 thousandths of a second. Holling is just going to hang in there ahead of Kimberly for 11th and 12th. 13th, it's going to go the way of S2M Borough Bex. And Gray is going to come home for 14th place position. Raiden is going to score some decent points in 15th as well. Michael, I think with a fuel issue, probably would have been better off with a bit more fuel. Comes home for 16th. DJ Phil in 17th, and Smokey Devil rounds out the grid. But that was another GT4 event, and it has been Tim Ventink and Max Mulder has been your race top 2 drivers. Clouden in 3rd as well, as I'll try and get those guys in for a quick chat. But what a fantastic race from those guys. GT4s never disappoint, and they're always great fun to watch. As I will try and get these guys into the chat. They should already have an invite, but sometimes they don't. Who else do we need? We need Clouden as well.
Green light, go, go, go.
And Max Mulder as well. Next race for these guys will be at it will be. I'll find the calendar. I can't seem to find the calendar. I'm being particularly stupid right now. The next race for the GT4s will be Watkins Glen, obviously staying for the GT3s. Next track will be at that circuit, so the power of the BMW should be quite good around there. The Aston Martin should be quite decent also around that circuit as well. Hopefully Jamal Clouden and Max Mulder will get into the party as well. I thought Michael Diddy ran out of fuel. And also, I think the tables should be up to date as well, as they are indeed. So quickly run through the tables before Max joins us. But Max is now your championship leader. He's leading away ahead of Tim Venting with only 13 points separating him. Third is Matthew Duffin. Fourth is now Richard Beasley. Fifth is Jamal Clouden. Sixth is Senna. Seventh is Sky Schondelmeyer. Eighth is Barrett. Ninth will be Sam. Croupiers is in 10th. 11th is Holling. Esther and Burbeck's in 12th. 13th is Bell. 14th is Leach. Then it is Raiden in 15th. Gray in 16th. 17th Kimberly. 18th is Cardoff in 19th. 20th is DJ Phil. Michael in 21st. Imasaki 22nd. Smoky Devil in 23rd position. And obviously, the way that will work out, Max Mulder will carry then 40 kilos going into the Watkins Glen event. And Tim will carry 35, Matthew Duffin 30, Beasley 25, Clouden 20, Senna 15, Sky Schondelmeyer 10, and Barrett will carry 5, as I do have 2 of the drivers in here. We'll start with the P3 man, which is Jamal Clouden. And Jamal, obviously, GT4s are a lot different animal compared to GT3s. Right, good old little bits of fun of cars, but obviously you've probably chosen the sketchiest car of them all. How are you finding the BMW M4, Sartley?
I'll be real, M4 is so fun to drive. Like, it's just a rocket ship. You think to say that you're not going to be catching the cars in front, and next thing you know, you're just like, oh hello, coming down the inside. But regarding with how sketchy the car is, it is a very slidey and bouncy car, but again, you just got to learn to adapt to be able to get accustomed to the way how the car handles around certain tracks. But yeah, it feels good.
Obviously, like I said, you're used to a car like the McLaren, a lot of downforce, a lot of grip to this, which is very bouncy and slidey. Obviously, the straight lines is ridiculous. Obviously, coming into the Hungaroring tonight, you knew that it was possibly going to struggle, especially in the middle sector. How was the car feeling in general tonight? Do you find that it was pleasantly better than you thought, or just still struggling overall?
It is still struggling. I do notice it mainly in the final sector. Sector 2 is for me where it's strongest. Well, Sector 1 and Sector 2 for me is where it's strongest if you get it right. It's mainly Sector 3. It just coming into the last 2 corners is just too slidey. Everyone's just catching me, and then I pull away down the start-finish straight. Obviously
with this championship, we've also introduced ballast. Obviously, you had quite the lowest amount of ballast. Do you find it made any difference to the car, or do you think it might have made a slight difference?
There was definitely a difference. I could tell. I could definitely feel the weight, especially trying to turn around certain corners. I can feel like a little bit understeer or a bit of oversteer. But again, once you get accustomed to it, it's not too bad. Once you get to a rhythm.
Firstly, we must discuss obviously the GT3s. You're in the McLaren, probably the strongest car around this circuit. How are you feeling going into Thursday night, and have you got a game plan in mind? Just so I know, so I can jot it down.
I do feel comfortable. I know there's a couple of people that are looking really quick, and I know I'm not on their pace, but I do feel comfy around here. The game plan is literally just to be consistent and just stay clean, basically. That's it, really.
And finally, Watkins Glen for the BMW M4. A lot longer straights, a lot more power advantage towards BMW. You must be feeling confident going there. And also, I believe you're 7th in the championship. You'll be 5th in the championship. So roughly 20 to 25 kilos on board. How do you think you're going to get on at Watkins?
Watkins I do like. It's got a very unique flow to it. The grip levels are very similar to Indy that I find, but yeah, I'm definitely confident for Watkins for sure.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the podium tonight, and we'll see you on Thursday night.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to P1 and P2.
As we move over to the P2 man, who is now leading the championship, Max Mulder, is excited for next week to carry 40 kilos of ballast on board, as most drivers was, and Sky Schondermeyer decided not to race. That's why he got out of it. But Max, I bet you were not expecting to leave Hungaroring as leading the championship. How was your night tonight?
It was a difficult night with ballast, made it very difficult.
Obviously, you probably did a little bit of practice without the ballast. You guys come into this race with no practice with the ballast on board. How much of a difference does that make? Obviously, you tested the car with no weight on board, no real idea of what it's going to feel like, and then as soon as you get into the practice session, boom, there's the weight. How much of a difference does that make?
The biggest difference was with in the middle of the corner, the car was sliding a lot, and on the exit speed, you're losing a lot of time with it.
Obviously, you and Tim Ventink are teammates in the Pro-Am. You came home here once again with another 1-2. You're now both leading the championship. It seems to be going quite well for you two at the minute. Obviously, let's talk about Pro-Am next. How are you looking to take on tomorrow night in the McLaren? Again, another strong car around the circuit. How are you feeling about racing at the Hungaroring in that car?
Yeah, I like it here. The track is very flowing, so yeah, I hope I can make another 1-2 with him.
And obviously, next race, you will be carrying 40 kilos if you turn up, and you'll be racing at Watkins Glen. How do you feel about Watkins, and what can you do in the Aston there?
I like the track very much. I think it's one of my favorites on this game. I never driven there more than, I think, 10 laps, but I think it's my favorite. So yeah, I hope I can do good there. So yeah.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the podium tonight, and obviously taking the lead of the championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we now move on to your race 2 winner, Tim Ventink, obviously leading the BSP boys to the line. Tim, how was that for you? Pretty much lights to flag, no problems. Pretty simple, wasn't it?
Yeah, the qualifying was really good. I kept invalidating my lap until the final 2 runs. So yeah, I was like 2 times clear, so that was good. And the race, yeah, had a good start, and that after turn 1, so it was just straight on from there.
Obviously, yourself carrying less ballast than the rest of them. You came into this one. I'm going to try and find where it was. Yeah, you came into this and you were carrying only 15 kilos. So, how? Again, same question to you, to Max. Did those 15 kilos really make a difference?
For me, it was only on throttle that I could maybe feel it a little bit. Yeah, for the rest, it wasn't too bad. Maybe on the straight, but yeah. It wasn't too bad.
And again, like I said, you and Max seem to be on a roll at the minute in GT4s and in the Pro-Am. You're in the Ferrari once again at the Hungaroring tomorrow. How do you think the Ferrari is going to get on here at the Hungaroring?
I'm running a little bit of a softer suspension, so the curb shouldn't really be that big of a problem. But it should be alright.
And obviously, the last question, going to Watkins Glen, you are going to be carrying 35 kilos worth of ballast. How do you think you're going to get on there with the weight on board?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm just going to have to feel it, I guess, because it's hard to tell. I haven't driven the track that much, so I don't know what it feels like without the ballast, but we'll see.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win this evening.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you on Wednesday night. That is it for the GT4s. It's been another great race, a night's worth of racing. It is the BSP boys once again at the top of the table. They lead the way in the championship. Max leading it ahead of Tim Venting. The two Aston Martins, how are they going to handle with the weight at Watkins Glen? That is the question. But more importantly, how are these two going to fare tomorrow night here at the Hungaroring for the Pro-Am category? The GT3s return back on track. Very tight, twisty circuit. Very difficult to overtake. Who is going to become out champion on that one? Me and Matthew Duffin will be giving you all the action tomorrow night. And make sure you tune in as well on Thursday night as myself and Jamal Clouden will be back on the track once again in the GT3 category for the pros, as we then take on this tricky circuit. And I believe the pros may have some rain lurking on the tail end of their race. It is unsure yet what will happen to the weather, but we will see nonetheless. And if you want to see all that great action, you do not want to miss anything, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. It has been a fantastic night's worth of racing. If you've been in pink, you've been at top, and we shall see you all guys tomorrow night at the Hungaroring. Good night.